Once upon a time, there was a king with a beautiful daughter. Many princes sought her hand, but the king refused to let her marry. At night, he heard a mysterious voice whispering, "Don't marry her off." The poor princess stared at herself in the mirror, confused and sad. "I'm so beautiful, why can't I get married?" Her mood grew heavier. One day at dinner, she finally said to her father, "Dad, if you can't find me a husband in 2 days, I will kill myself." The king, anxious, sighed and said, "All right, listen. Tomorrow before sunrise, wear your finest clothes and stand by the window. Whoever sees you first will be your husband." The next day, before dawn, the princess woke up early, dressed in her most splendid gown, and stood by the window facing the path. Suddenly, a little mouse with a long, stinky tail jumped onto the windowsill. "Hello, beautiful princess. I'm honored to be the first to see you." Everyone was shocked, looking at each other in disbelief. "Oh no, how can this be? Marry a mouse?" The king narrowed his eyes and said, "Yes, dear, I have spoken. A king's word is law. You must marry it." Soon, the king announced the wedding for a full moon night. It was a grand feast, and all the nobles came. But the groom was late. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door, and the servant asked, "What do you want, you filthy mouse?" The mouse proudly replied, "Please announce, I am here to marry the princess." "The mouse is here to marry the princess," the steward announced. The king said, "Let it in." The mouse excitedly ran in, climbing onto the chair beside the princess. She felt both ashamed and disgusted, but the mouse acted nonchalant. The king told the guests the whole story, and to please him, they laughed, saying, "Yes, this little mouse should be the princess's husband." The laughter turned into mockery. The mouse, unhappy, signaled the king to step outside, threatening, "Listen, your majesty, you must warn them not to joke with me, or they'll regret it." The king agreed and returned to the table, ordering everyone to stop laughing. The dishes were finally served, but the mouse was too short to reach the table. So, it climbed onto the dining table and asked, "Does anyone oppose?" Everyone fell silent. However, a picky lady saw the mouse's face buried in a dish and its long tail swaying, and couldn't stand it. She shouted, "What a filthy thing! How disgusting!" The mouse angrily raised its head, erupting like a volcano. It jumped around the table, whipping its tail and biting the faces and wigs of the nobles. With each swing, everything it touched vanished: bowls, fruits, food, utensils, even the table and palace disappeared, leaving only a barren plain. The princess found herself alone, sad and crying, "Oh, my little mouse. I didn't like you before, but now I need you." She called out and walked forward, resigned to fate. On the road, she met a hermit. "Beautiful girl, what are you doing in this desolate place? What will you do if you encounter a lion or a T-Rex?" "How unfortunate," the hermit asked kindly. "I don't know," the princess replied in confusion, "I just want to find my little mouse. I didn't like it before, but now I need it." The hermit pondered for a moment and said, "I can't help you much, but I can give you some useful clues. Follow this road westward, and don't stop until you meet another hermit older than me.